Critics always hate the films we think are great, but only one appreciates them all. He serves us every day, he keeps the trolls at bay, though he may be a shade delusional. The shelter of his mouth is moist, he will not give you any choice. Agree with him or else, because he is the film defender.
I'm gonna recruit a bad guy who I think could do some good.
Only one con with the reputation that lasts.
How are you gonna bring him in?
I know a guy who's had some dealings with him before.
Well, Aggressor. How did I know I'd find you here of all places?
Well to you. You got nothing else better to do than stalk me?
As a matter of fact, I don't. But that doesn't change the fact that you have been aggressing without authorization again.
So what if I have? What are you gonna do? Arrest me?
Ha! You would be so lucky. Just so happens that making people act against their own self-interest is what I do for my kicks and giggles.
What does that mean exactly?
It means you're gonna be defending Suicide Squad with me, whether you like it or not.
You gonna make me?
I would, but I don't want to have to do this in front of your daughter.
Daughter? What are you talking about? My daughter's not here.
I'm kind of filming this whole thing, so she's gonna see it eventually.
For Pete's sake, I'll come quietly.
Welcome to episode 17 of The Film Defender, serving the public good one underrated movie at a time. Today, we're coming to the defense of Suicide Squad.
It's been a crazy ride for Warner Brothers this year, as yet another DCEU film has been getting a undeserved critical thrashing.
Seriously, after the ridiculous heat these films are getting, DC should just change their acronym to Disregard Critics. Hashtag Disregard Critics. It would be fitting, as despite those rotten reviews, fans have turned up in droves to propel this movie to a record-breaking opening weekend.
So what were all the critics and haters complaining about this time? We're going to get to that as soon as we have a brief message from our sponsor. Do you enjoy mountains? Do you like the power of high voltage? Then I think Mountain Dew Voltage is for you.
Sorry. Allow us a brief moment to confer.
So we've just received news that we are actually not sponsored by anybody. So let's just go ahead and issue a
Spoiler alert! Objection number 1.
This movie's just a little too hard to follow. It's put together really weird.
The editing of this film is certainly a bit discombobulated, but I think it fits the style and the psychology of this movie perfectly.
This squad is populated by sociopaths, and some are even full-on psychopaths, so I feel like the editing is very befitting of the characters that we're following.
Plus, it allows us to catch up on the 9 or 10 new characters we're introduced to without having to interrupt the action later on for unnecessary backstory.
They're able to tell us so much in a short amount of time, and I can really appreciate that efficiency, especially in an ensemble film like this.
Everything is so colorful, fast-paced, and fun that I can't imagine anybody seeing this editing style as a problem.
Why complain about something so unique and creative, especially when it's done in such an entertaining way?
It may be slightly disorienting at first, even if you enjoy it, but trust me, it gets even better the second time around.
So many little details are peppered throughout this film that it's impossible to pick it up all in one viewing.
If you're on the fence about it, go see it again. Objection number 2.
The tone of this movie is all over the place.
Wait, so you mean a movie starring an emotionally stilted hitman, a psychotic psychiatrist, a pyrokinetic gang leader, a deformed reptilian cannibal, and a boomerang-wielding jewel thief is tonally disjointed? Of course it is. What did you expect?
This movie has insanity coursing through its veins, and that can either be hilarious or terrifying depending on the situation.
I just think this whole argument is patently ridiculous. Who wants to watch a movie that never shifts gears?
A good movie has a little bit of everything sprinkled in, and Suicide Squad definitely fits that bill.
Some moments with the Joker and Enchantress are dark and sinister, but then Deadshot or Harley Quinn will drop a tension-easing line so that we don't get too bogged down with any particular mood.
Sorry this movie isn't one-dimensional enough for you. deal with it.
Objection number 3.
The Joker's barely in this freaking movie. Why even have him here at all?
Are you kidding? Can you imagine what the Joker fans would say if we had a movie with Harley Quinn in it without an appearance by the Clown Prince himself?
Everyone loses their minds.
Fans have been dying to see the romance between Harley Quinn and her puddin' on the big screen for years now. And even though it's not lengthy, I think this movie executes this perfectly.
We all know there's going to be a new Joker in this DC extended universe, so why not show him here so that we don't have to watch his introduction all over again when we get to the Ben Affleck directed Batman movie in a couple of years?
While I wish I could have seen more of Jared Leto's electric performance, I'm glad he didn't overshadow the film by overstaying his welcome.
And stop with the Heath Ledger comparisons. This is a different Joker, and I think he more than holds his own in a movie where he's not even the main antagonist of the story. Just wait until we get to see him take on Batman for real. Objection number 4.
For how complicated these characters are, this plot is really simple and generic.
If you were confused by the interweaving backstories of the characters included in this story, imagine how utterly perplexing and convoluted it would be to add a complicated plot into that mix.
The point of this film is to introduce us to the characters and watch them change and grow over the course of the mission.
We needed something straightforward to get these characters in motion, and it fits the nature of this movie to allow the members of the Suicide Squad to remain in the spotlight. To compare it to another team-oriented comic book movie, this is just as complex of a storyline as Guardians of the Galaxy, only Deadshot, Diablo, and Harley Quinn are all more fleshed out and explored than the little hints of backstory that we get from Rocket, Gamora, and Drax.
In order to care about the characters, we have to get to know them a little bit. I don't know about you, but I'd sacrifice a complicated plot for character development any day.
Objection number 5.
The soundtrack was too much.
You can't be serious. Wait, are you serious? I mean, really? Hang on. What? Objection number 6.
This Enchantress is such stupid villain. And what's with hula dancing?
I will admit that I had a little bit of an issue with her the first time I saw it too. Let me be clear though, none of my issues had anything to do with her mystical demonic appearance prior to her building the machine.
The smoke surrounding her, the fiery glint in her eye, the tattoos, and the long greasy hair was all incredibly effective in making her freaking creepy.
I mean, just look at that moment where Enchantress's fingers interlock with Dr. Moon's during that presentation. So freaky.
My only complaint is they went away from this brilliant design in the middle of the movie.
Still, I was so pleased when they brought it back at the end of the film when she takes on the entire squad by herself.
But to be honest, the real villain of this story is not Enchantress. It's Amanda Waller. Viola Davis isn't the most intimidating woman, but man, is she tough.
She brings such a commanding presence to the role that you totally buy it when she stares down Killer Croc, or tells Captain Boomerang where he can stick his demand for freedom after they eliminate the threat.
Waller alone takes this movie from a generic beating up the bad guy movie to something else entirely.
She even manages to go toe-to-toe with Batman in the mid-credits scene. Now, if that doesn't impress you, I don't think anything will. To wrap this up, Suicide Squad is a psychotic and psychedelic freak show with great humor, crazy action, and surprising heart that gives us sympathy for each of the devils in this movie.
As with Batman vs. Superman, if you're at all interested in seeing this movie, we highly recommend that you see it and make a decision for yourself.
Hashtag disregard critics. Suicide Squad's updated status defended. What did you think of Suicide Squad? Whether attacking or defending, join the fight in the comments section below. Also, is there a movie that you love that deserves a strong defense? You can either email me, tweet me, post to my Facebook page, or comment your suggestion below.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more defenses to come.
And until next time,
The defense rests.
Well to you. How did I know you'd be stalking me yet again? Got nothing else better to do? No?
Well to you.
Dun dun dun!
I can't see. You see, I'm a pro at making people do things against their own free will.
Well, ain't
That's
that
not the real line.
ain't that the truth?
Exactly.
Ain't that the truth?
Okay, I'm joking.
Or else I wouldn't be out here wearing a mask.
After midnight.
Hopefully we can like. Match.
Oh my gosh! Don't look at that. Whoa!
Oh, that's where you've been? That's not even what I was talking about. Whoa.
Get out of here, Cricket.
Seriously, after the ridiculous heat these films are getting,
Sean Connery. The mountaininess of this mountain is so mountain.
It's a mountain of pleasure.
Do you enjoy mountains?
You ever see those mountains and be like,
I want to climb that mountain. No es bueno.
yeah.
El baño, long time.
He's fluent in Spanish.
Sí.
That's proof right there. Cannot fake that. Have you seen it more than once?
No, I want to.
I've seen it 3 times.
Shut up. Okay, this one's for Ella.
Okay, do it. Do it, Puddin'.
Ah, you.
Sorry.
Puddin'. So many little details are peppered throughout this film, it's hard to pick up all in one viewing. So many little details are peppered throughout this film that it's impossible to pick it all up in one movie. Viewing movie, whatever. It was perfect.
Oh man. If it takes me multiple tries on this one,
It's
then
a
we're
sad
in trouble.
Yeah, it's late. And that's what we'll give it an excuse.
Yeah. If you're on the
No.
some moments with the Joker or Entrantis. Ugh, I gotta fix that.
You're gonna say that once.
Yeah,
You're gonna say it once.
Some moments with the Joker or
And there goes the trailer again.
Crap.
He's just towing like an empty
Making
trailer
laps.
around at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Super weird. Are you serious, car? Where are you trying to go?
Where is he towing that thing at 2 in the morning?
Yeah. For real?
What is he doing with that trailer?
I don't know. Oh, he's my neighbor. Great, now he knows I'm a weirdo.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Driveway with a masked man.
exactly. Objection number 4.
Objection number 4. Objection number 4.
Lieutenant Dan ice cream. The soundtrack. I don't know what that was.
The soundtrack.
It's like Dracula.
I know.
The soundtrack is too much. The soundtrack is too much. I don't know. I keep thinking of Dracula.
Just don't roll your R.
This soundtrack is about to do it again. I can't stop thinking of Dracula. This Enchantress is such the stupid villain.